I believe one of the unsung heroes in the New Testament is a man named Barnabas. In Acts chapter 4, the nickname they give him is a son of encouragement. That's what his name means. He lives up to this title. In Acts chapter 9, when Saul of Tarsus is converted and he tries to join the church, it says that they did not believe that he was actually a disciple. But Barnabas goes to bat for him, and the church gives him what Paul calls later the right arm of fellowship as a result. This leads to Paul being endorsed by the church to do the work he does, to write the letters he writes, that literally turned the world upside down for Jesus, Acts chapter 17. He doesn't just stop there though. Once we get to Acts chapter 11, and Barnabas is investing in a church that's doing well in Antioch, he decides to bring Paul with him to continue discipling him and laboring for him in this environment. And this is literally what convinces Paul that this is what God made him for. And he thrives in ministry from that point forward. But there's another person that Barnabas invested in. His name is John-Mark. He had gone on the first missionary journey that Paul and Barnabas went on together, and he left. He chickened out, called mom and bought a plane ticket and went home. And this doesn't go over well with Paul. He thinks the guy's just weak and can't handle things all that well. Barnabas and Paul decide to go visit all the churches that they planted before. Barnabas wants to bring John-Mark with him again to give him another chance, and Paul says no. He's weak, he can't handle it, we're not going to do that. And it says the dissension between the two became so sharp that they parted ways. Paul and Silas went one direction, Barnabas and John-Mark went the other direction. But then we get to the end of Paul's life in 2 Timothy chapter 4, and he's writing to Timothy, asking him to bring some belongings, a scroll, a parchment, and then he says to bring Mark with you also, for he's useful to me for ministry. Now I find this fascinating. He wasn't useful to him in Acts chapter 15, but he is now at the end of his life. What changed? John-Mark thrived in that second missionary journey. He eventually becomes the understudy of Peter, and he ends up writing literally the first gospel written in the Bible, the Gospel of Mark. Chronologically, it's the first one that's written. And it's written at a time when a church is discouraged and it's tempted to quit, just like he was. And it ministers to the church, it keeps them going. And all of this blessing that comes to the early Christian church through John-Mark and through Paul largely would have been unheard of were it not for the fact that Barnabas believed in people that others would not. So my question to you is, who is it in your life that's needing someone to believe in them? Are you being a Barnabas in the lives of those around you? Because that investment that you make may not seem significant right now, but it literally could change the course of Christian history.